Hello, I am Pedro Alves from Portugal. This lesson is for week 1 of Introduction to Music Production at Coursera.org. I will be teaching a typical recording signal flow using the gear in my home studio. I am a pianist and I often need to connect my stage piano to my recording software through an audio interface and my mixer. My audio interface is somewhat old, but I picked it carefully to suit my needs. I've got an Adderall UA20X, which has two mono unbalanced quarter-inch TS inputs. It has some useful features like a mic guitar line input selector to set the gain staging according to which device is connected to the interface, an input monitor on-off switch that routes the input signal to the output monitor, which is another feature in itself, allowing me to listen to the computer audio signal or the TS input signal at the same time, and also an input level controller that allows me to adjust the line level throughout the equipment and software. I can connect my piano directly to it, or I can route it through my mixer to give it some EQ before entering the audio interface. Another reason to route it through the mixer first would be to be able to use it in conjunction with my microphone, which I will address shortly. My mixer is a Behringer Eurorack UB802, which has two mono channels to which I can connect a guitar or microphone and then select the gain staging level, and two stereo channels. All channels have separate EQ. Besides the main outputs, it has a monitor stereo output with separate gain control, which also controls the headphones level. Since both my piano outputs and interface inputs are unbalanced, I used unbalanced quarter-inch TS cables. Because the cables are short-in linked and both my piano and mixer power units are separated from the equipment, which means I have no electromagnetic interference, I don't use a DI box but rather a quarter-inch unbalanced TS cables. Regarding my microphone, I chose it for its balance between price and performance. It's a Shure PG58, which is kind of a low-end version of the Shure SM58, with similar frequency response and polar pattern. I take this opportunity to state that I'm not using this microphone to make this recording right now, but rather a cheap microphone from my headset. The reason is that I didn't have time to make this assignment with much time for personal reasons, and thus I'm using this microphone, which was faster to set up. To monitor my signal, I use a set of Roland RHL20 neckband monitor headphones, which have a frequency response of 20 Hz to 25,000 Hz and don't distort easily. I use them on stage and they get the job done superbly well, besides being very comfortable. So I can connect my piano to the audio interface directly and then through an USB 1.1 cable to my computer recording software. I can record two mono channels at the same time, which means I can record the stereo signal from the piano or two mono signals from two microphones, for instance, in which case I would have to borrow a second microphone. To achieve the last recording option, I have to use my mixer before the audio interface. I connect the microphones to the mixer using a pair of XLR cables, and then the mixer to the audio interface using a pair of quarter-inch unbalanced TS cables. I will set the main volume to 0 decibels, and then use the input level knob on the audio interface to set the line level to an ideal level on the recording software. I make sure that I won't create distortion in my recordings by adjusting the line level while playing or singing as loud as needed, and then setting the line level so that it won't reach red or yellow in the software level meter. I know I could have better equipment, but this does the trick so far, although I want to upgrade it in the near future. I hope this lesson has been clear regarding the subject in hand. I would like to thank you who are listening and about to grade my lesson, and would like to ask you to give me some feedback on how did or didn't the lesson meet your expectations and what could be improved. Thank you.